All right, next week, we're taking the Unit 4 test. This question right here is one of the things we're looking for on the Unit 4 test. This is the easy right here, okay, number one. So what do we see that makes this easy? Two equations. Anytime we see two equations, it's menu 3, 2. So we're going to go to regular calculator. So go to regular calculator. And we are typing in, I guess it'll help if I don't have to flip back and forth. So let me grab a worksheet real quick. So we're typing in menu 3, 2. Remember, if we're using X and Y, we just simply hit enter to get rid of that. And then we're typing in our two equations. So 6X minus Y equals minus 10. And then on the bottom, we got minus 14. Oh, okay. On the bottom. So first off, I do what a lot of y'all do. We don't usually type in Y equals, do we? And so I skipped Y equals. On this, we have to type in Y equals. So let me delete that. We got to type in the Y equals. And then we have a really big fraction. So if we have a really big fraction, you have to start with the fraction. So control divide. So start with that fraction. I agree. So minus 14x minus 2 over 3. All right. So once we've typed in those two equations, even though it was a fraction, your calculator will still handle that right there. It matches perfectly. So we hit enter and we get -1, +4. So the answer would be G. So the answer would be G. All right, question 2. This is actually unit 3. This is a unit 3 question right here. And so on question 2, there's two ways you could do this. You could, because we got Y equals here, anytime we have Y equals, we could type this into the calculator, couldn't we? Okay. So if you know, like I am terrible at this stuff. Now, guys, if all you're doing is looking down at your phone, that's one thing. So make sure that you're getting this stuff done. Okay. Now, if you're getting this stuff done, you know, that's good. All right. So when we look at this, if you know you're terrible with this, we see Y equals, we can type this into the calculator, but there's an easier way. What we really like to do is determine, is the slope positive or negative? So I got slope dude on there. Is that positive or negative? It's negative. So slope, which is in front of X, should be negative. We can eliminate B. We can eliminate D. All right. And then the y-intercept, which is always the number at the back, where does this cross the y-axis at? -1. So we got to have a -1 at the number at the back, and that would be C right there. So that's not bad. All right, number 3. Now, we haven't really done one of these in a long time. This looks like an equation, but it's got the inequality symbol. And we only see one of them, right? So when we only see one, we can do it under menu 3.1. However, we don't get to put the inequality symbol. Does anybody remember how we do this? Put an equal sign. Now, I want you to look at one other thing. This has an equal to bar. Look at your answers. If there's no equal to bar, then we can eliminate this. So we can eliminate A and we can eliminate D. Coach, just FYI, my foot and knee are killing me today. So my butt's sitting down today. All right. So we're going to type this into the calculator. And for the most part, I'm just going to be working everything out today. So, I mean, yeah. So we're going to go to menu 3.1. And if you happen to get on, I told Sam he could just type his answers in on a private chat. So if you see the chat blowing up, it's just him typing his answers. All right. So we're going to calculator. We're already in calculator, so we're going to hit menu 3.1 because there's only one equation. I hope y'all are making the connection. Menu 3.2 is for two equations. Menu 3.1 is one equation. All right, and we're typing in -2. So -2 -4 parentheses 2x plus 2. And I'm just typing in number 3 right now. Okay, here we're not going to put the inequality. We're going to put an equal sign. okay, minus 3x minus 30. Now, usually, oh, we got to do one more thing. What is that? I got to put comma x, right? So you always got to put comma to say you're done, and then x. Now, usually, this right here doesn't give us the answer. It only allows us to do 50-50. But because of the fact that we eliminated some stuff, oh, I must have typed something in wrong. I know that's not right. Oh, okay. So here's where copy and paste comes in. So I screwed up the 3 right there. That should be a 2. So usually if you don't get an answer right, it's almost always user error. So I screwed up there. So if that happens to you, go back and make sure you typed it in right. Okay, so the answer there should be 4. Now, like I said, usually it doesn't just flat give us the answer, but it allows us to do a 50-50. But in this case, we eliminated the other 4, didn't we? And so in this case, what's the answer? It's got to be B. It's the only one with the 4. It was the only one with the 4 and an equal to bar. Let me put it that way. Because A also had 4, but it didn't have an equal to bar. All right. So we hadn't done one of those in a while, so it's good for us to go back and do that. So this is just reminding us that for linear inequalities, we're looking to tell if it's solid or dashed. So remember, if it has an equal to bar, it's solid. No equal to bar is dashed. Now, for the shading, we're going to test the point 0, 0. Did you have a question or are you stretching? Stretching. Okay. That's good. All right. So let's take a look at this. Now, I know that there's no way you're going to be able to read this up here. So look at your paper. Okay. Now, the first thing we want to determine is this a solid or dashed line? So you look at this inequality. You need to look at your paper. It's hard to see this. That's too small right there. So look at your paper. Does it have an equal to bar? Okay. So right here, it reminds you if it has an equal to bar, it's a solid line. So this is a solid line right here. So on your paper, eliminate the dashed. So eliminate those, mark them off. All right. So now we're to find out the shading, we test the point 0, 0. Now, like I said, because of everything we did yesterday, I don't know that we really got as good as some of my later classes where we didn't do as much and we really focused in on testing 0, 0. So I'm going to write this down. I always encourage you guys to write this down. Everywhere there's an X or a Y, I'm going to put a what? I'm going to put a 0. Okay, so we're going to type this in. We're going to test this. And I'm going to put a 0 in for X. I'm going to put a 0 in for Y. All right, so that's what we're typing in. All right, so we're going to go to regular calculator. And I'm already there. So we're just going regular calculator right here. We're just when you test a point, you just type it in because there's no letters. So you don't type in any letters here. So we're just typing in this minus A. Now, when I type minus, A and S comes up. Are we allowed to keep that A and S? No, you can do 2 things. You can delete the A and S or delete it all. This is the one time you can hit the button of the double. Okay, hit that negative button right there. That's the only time we hit is if that A and S pops up. All right, so we got negative 8, parentheses 0, plus 12, parentheses 0 is less than or equal to 24. So be typing this into your calculator. Like I said, I'm not going to walk around and make sure you're doing it. But if your calculator's not in your hand, then good chance are that you're not typing it in, right? So be typing this in. You're going to hit enter. And what does it say? True. So if this is true, okay, if this is true, how does that tell me which one to pick? The one that's in the shaded area, right? So the one that's covered up with blue right here. And so the answer would be A. Had it said false, we would have chosen B. Or I'm sorry, C. Okay. So that's how you use that right here. Okay. So look at question 5. First off, Is it solid or dashed? So look right here. Does it have an equal to bar? It's dashed. There's no equal to bar. So eliminate. That's always the easy part right there. Okay. Always, always, always the easy part. Okay. It's solid or dashed. So that's the one thing you need to make sure you learn. All right. Now we're going to test 0, 0 again. Now we choose 0, 0 because it's the easiest one to plug in and it's the easiest one to identify. It's always the very center, the origin. All right, so we're going to type in -9, plug in 0, +6, plug in 0. And like I said, I always write it down. You don't have to. If you can, a lot of you guys are smart enough that you could probably just type this in. This is getting messy, so I'm going to clear this out. All right, so I'm going to type in. It's hard to see right here, but I'm going to hit the negative button because otherwise it would pop up the A and S. All right, 9, parentheses 0, plus 6, parentheses 0 is less than, so is less than 36. All right, we hit enter, and what do we get? True. So true means that the middle is in the shaded area. What's the answer? B. So kind of seeing this, well, we're not doing all the extra that we had to do yesterday. Is this really all that bad? Okay, so that's what, I know that it was new and we were trying to do so much. I think that it started making, this, the zeros look a lot more complex, but when we're just typing in zeros, it's not all that bad. All right, so let's take a look at, oh my gosh. Okay, so this one's going to present a little problem right here. So first off, is this solid or dashed? Does it have an equal to bar? It's dashed. Yeah, there's no equal to bar right here. So remember, you're only looking at this symbol right here. If there's no equal to bar, it's dashed. So we're going to eliminate this one and this one right here. Okay. Now, here's the problem. I don't even need to type in 0, 0 because look, 0 here is not in the shaded region. Is 0 here in the shaded region? No. So typing in 0, 0 is going to automatically prove to be false. So that's not going to help me. So I got to find something that is not in the shaded region on one, but is on the other. Now, I usually try to keep this as simple as possible. Okay. So I'm going to look for numbers like 1, 1, 2, 2. That way I'm always plugging in the same number. Now, 1, 1 and 2, 2 would be like over here. And that doesn't really help me. But if I go backwards, -2, -2. Look at this number right here. -2, -2 is in the shaded region here, but -2, -2 is not in the shaded region there. I don't think this will happen very often, but if it does, I want you to see how we take care of it. So I'm going to plug in -2, -2. So I'm going to type 12 parentheses -2 minus 9. Do y'all see why I use -2, -2? Because I don't worry about which one is X and which one's Y. They're both -2. That makes sense? Okay. Is greater than 48. So this is what we're typing into our calculator here. Now, I hope that this isn't what pops up on the STAR test. I hope we get ones that we can always test 0, 0, because that's the easiest. And in the end, if if they won't let you test 0, 0, then, just simply eliminate what you can eliminate. Go from there. So -2, minus 9, parentheses, -2, close parentheses, is greater than 48. All right. So like I said, make sure you're practice typing this in. Okay. We hit enter. It says false. So I want the answer where it's not in the shaded region. So which of these has -2, -2 not in the shaded region? A. So A is our answer. Okay, so maybe that one was a little bit more difficult. All right, so let's go to 7. Is this, I'm going to clear this real quick. So 6 was A. All right, so 7. Is this solid or dashed? dash, so we can get rid of our solids. Okay, so it does not have an equal to bar, so it's dashed. Now this one, we do have 0, 0 in the shaded and 0, 0 not in the shaded, so 0, 0 will work. So we're going to plug in. And a lot of you, like I said, a lot of y'all don't need to write this down like I do. So it's not like you're required to write this down. I write this down because it's too much for my mind if I don't. I apologize. I got a teacher that's struggles so much. All right. So once again, this 5 is negative. If I hit minus, it's going to type in that A and S. So you either delete the A and S or use the button of the devil. All right. So we got -5, parentheses 0, minus 20, parentheses 0, and then is greater than, so make sure you get the correct sign, 20, hit enter. This is false. Is that what y'all got? Okay, so if it's false, then it's B, because we want the one where the middle is not shaded. So the answer is B. So hopefully y'all are going to consider this one of the easy questions. Okay, the fact that it's calculator, the fact that, solid and dash should not be that hard. Okay, this is one of the ones that we'll depend on, not only on the Unit 4 test, but on the STAR test as well. Okay, we want this. All right. Okay, so this right here, we're just simply plotting the points and saying whether they're solutions. So -4, 2. Remember, I've got a new poster up here that says X is first. So -4. So draw these points on your paper. So we're going to go to -4 and then +2 right here. Is that a solution? Yes, it's in the shaded region. Okay. 2, -3. So 2 and then -3, -1, 2, 3 would be right here. Is that a solution? No. -2, 0. So we go to -2. This one's going to be a little tricky right here. -2, 0 is exactly on the line. Now, if it is a solid line, it's a solution. If it's a dashed line, it's not a solution. So is this a solution? Yes, it's a solid line. All right, so let's look at 9. All right, so we got 1, -2. So we're going to go 1 over 1 on the x-axis and down 2. Is that a solution? No. Okay. Sam, on this one, you can just type in like yes, no, yes on number 8. And then number 9, do the same thing. Okay, 0, 4. Okay, 0 means don't go anywhere. 4 means go up. And this is on the line. Now, is it a solution? No, very good, because that's a dashed line. Dashed lines do not count as a part of the solution. Very nice. All right, and then 4, 0 would be over here. And is that a solution? Yeah. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to clear that. Okay, so on this one, and there will be at least one question usually on the STAR test, and probably one or two questions on our Unit 4 test, where they just simply ask you, is this a solution? Okay, now we're going to test the point, but we're not going to use 0, 0. We're using 2, 3. And so on this one, we're going to go -2 parentheses. What do I plug in for x? Which of these is the x? The 2, yeah. And if you forget, use that sign up there. I know it's brand new to the classroom, but use that sign up there. So we're going to use 2 as our x, minus 8. What's the y? 3. So this is our x. If you're not sure where we're getting these numbers, the x is 2 and the y is 3. So the y right here, we're putting 3 in, and then is greater than 12. Now, once again, I really got to write it down because this is too much for my mind. If you can just type it in, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to type in, I'm going to use the button of the devil here. So -2, parentheses 2, minus 8, parentheses 3, and then greater than 12. Hit enter. This is false. So is this a solution? No. So number, where are we at? Number 10 is no. All right, number 11. Oh, well, actually, let me go back because I just want to make sure y'all see where I'm getting these numbers from. All right, so number 11, we're testing 4 and -3. So we're going to go -2 parentheses. 4 is my x. Okay, so 4 is my x, and -3 is my y. So +3 parentheses -3 goes in for y is less than or equal to -2. All right. So I'm going to go plug this in. So once again, I'm going to start with the button of the devil because when it leads off on calculator, you got to do that. Parentheses 4, close parentheses, +3, parentheses -3. This is less than or equal to, so where'd it go? Less than or equal to is right there, and then -2. All right, hit enter, and I got true. Is that what y'all got? I typed this stuff in wrong a lot. That's why I always ask, because y'all see me screw up all the time. So did y'all get true or did I screw up? I think I typed it in right. All right, I think that's right. I got true. So yes, this is a solution here. All right, so on questions like this, where they just ask you is it a solution, then you have to plug in that x and that y. Technically, that was what we were working on yesterday, where it started kind of confusing everybody because we were trying to combine a little too much together, I think. Okay. Hopefully, doing it separately here, this makes a little bit more sense than what it did yesterday. So I'm hoping it does anyway. All right. So now we're moving into review. And one of the nice things about today, because of the fact I'm not walking around, we're going to get to see a lot of review questions today. So if you are doing this, then this should be activating some of this stuff that maybe you have forgotten. All right. And so please, please, please be typing this into your calculator. You know, if you type it into your calculator, this stuff sticks so much better. You know, like I said, I'm not walking around. So if you don't, well, you know, I'll teach you next year when you take me again. So remember, it looks like we just took the STAR test. And we're still taking it today, obviously. It looks like the state of Texas is going to force this STAR test through. So if you are banking on the fact that they're going to excuse this STAR test, right now is the worst that the pandemic has been in terms of people dying. Okay. And so, at least in the state of Texas. And so, if they're going to force the STAR test through right now, then I guarantee you in the spring, they're going to make us test this. And so, you're going to have to pass this in order to graduate. All right. And so, it's easier if you get it done this year with me and you take the STAR test one time, as opposed to taking the STAR test. Like I had kids yesterday that they were taking it for their 6th, 7th, and 8th times. Okay. And every time they have to take it, they got to come to tutoring and they have to take extra classes and they have to do all this extra because they didn't take care of it when it was the easiest. And your freshman year, when you're working with us, is always when it's the easiest because you have more time to practice the calculus. Okay. So it's just so much easier to get it taken care of now. All right. So right here on the STAR test or on any test we take, we think this is easy. Why? What do we see? The y equals in the answers. Anytime we see y equals in the answers and we see points that we can test, we're going to type this into the calculator. Now, it does take a little bit of time, okay? But it's worth it to you know, not have to take the STAR test a whole bunch of times. All right, so we're going to go, where do we go when there's y equals? Yes. I will tell you, on the last test we took, I'm just going to show you this real quick because it's on my mind. I'll probably forget this in all my other classes today, but it's on my mind right now. We had questions that look like this right here: 5x plus 5y equals 8. So first off, tell me why I can't put this in the calculator right here. Y is not by itself, is it? Okay. How many equal signs do you see? Yeah, I can't have 2 equal signs in that. Now, when I hit enter, and menu 5-1, this pops up. And I had a lot of kids, look at this real quick, because if you wrote this on your test, I had a lot of kids write this on their test. If you see 0 and undef like this right here, that means you screwed up. That's not giving you an answer. Okay, you screwed up there. 0 and undefined together just doesn't, in a point. Now, if it's slope, that's one thing, but as a point, that doesn't make any sense. That's telling you something went wrong. And what went wrong was you couldn't type it in the calculator. Okay. And so anyways, I just want to make sure you remember it's only y equals. All right, so I'm typing in a, we get negative 2x. Hit enter, it's not a? Oh, it is a? Okay, good. So menu 5-1, and then we're typing in our 2 points. So we're typing in -1, hit enter, and yes, it says -1, +2. Okay, remember you got to check both. So we're going to type in 1 and 1 -2, and sometimes God just smiles on you and the answer is A. So if both of these points check out, no, that's your answer. So, you know, if you fail the STAR test and then you have to come back to me or come during the summer, this is what we focus in on right here. Okay, is doing this stuff in the calculator, because this is how we get kids past that test. Okay, and so like I said, it's so much easier if you just learn this now and practice it now. All right, number 13 is easy. Why do we consider this easy? Yeah, this right here is also y equals. So 2 letters back to back make a y. So we're going to go plug this in. But this time, we're only plugging this in once. And then what do I do? Yeah, they give you a random number. When they give you a random number, now you may know that this means that -3 is x because it's f of x. So -3 took place of x. But you may not know that. So even if you don't know it, they give you a random number and you type in that random number, right? All right, so let's go type this in. So we're going to go to graphs again because it's y equals. We are typing in -3x plus 5. Hit enter. Menu 5-1. So we need the point to appear. So menu 5-1. And then we're typing in, it was -3 was that random number. So -3. Hit enter. And what's the answer here? 14. So in unit 2, I think we did a lot of these, and I know y'all were awesome at this. We haven't seen a whole lot of this lately. And so now some of you guys have seen it because I put these on our reviews a lot, but those of us that work a little bit slower haven't seen this as much. And so we want to make sure we stay good with these right here. They're very, very easy. All right. So the answer was C right there. And by the way, this is not the time. I always get kids going, hey, I guessed that right there. Yeah, this isn't when we guess C. This is when we get C because it's in the calculator. All right, number 14. Why is this easy? Y equals again. You got me? Okay. So we're typing in the Y equals. You know, hopefully we get lucky and it's A, but we'll see. All right, so we're typing in A real quick. Try B. Huh. I'm just guessing. We should try B. Does anybody want to try B? All right, let's try B here. So we're going to go to graphs and we're typing in. So control divide is our fraction here. And we got 2 over 5 x. And then plus 18 over 5. So 18 over fraction bar. So control divide 5. Hit enter. We hit menu 5-1 and we're testing. So remember, 0 never tells us anything. Okay, 0 doesn't tell us anything. So we need that 0 to become, well, I say it doesn't tell us anything. It doesn't tell us anything unless the x says 0. Now, if the x says 0, it tells us something. I need that x to become 1 and -4. So we're going to type in 1, enter, and we get 1 and 4. And then we're going to type in -4, and we get +2. So that matches right there. So we typed in 1 and got +4. We typed in -4 and got +2. And so the answer is B. Now, had we typed in A and that wasn't the answer, remember I get a lot of kids, you can always tell the kids that, don't type this in with me, because whenever it comes time to type in B, they always start a brand new graph. And starting a brand new graph is not what you want to do here. What would we want to do if it's not the answer? Hit tab and edit it. Yeah. Hit tab, go up and edit it. And so this is why we talk about the importance of practicing, because on the STAR test, if you have to type in all these questions and you restart a brand new graph every time, you're probably going to get really frustrated. And this makes you not want to type in stuff because you're not doing it the easy way. And then, of course, you end up doing it the really hard way, which is, coming back and doing it again and again and again. And so that's why we want to make sure you know how to use that calculator. All right. This one right here is easy for two reasons. All right. It's got the y equals and a point I can check, but there's something else that also makes this easy. Very good. We got slope right here. And so the slope has to be -6. So the number in front of x is slope. So we can mark off A and mark off C. Now we've only got 2 of these to test, and we're testing that point right there. All right. So we're going to do what? Try D? Oh, okay. I'm feeling like we should try D here. I don't know what it is today. I'm just getting all these feelings. All right. So we're going to try. So we got -6x minus 42. Hit enter. We're going to go menu 5-1. And so we're going to remember zeros doesn't mean anything. We need this 0 to become -8. So -8, hit enter. And yep, that's it right there. -8 and 6. Man, I'm glad I'm trusting my gut today. It just leading us right today. This might be the best teaching job I've ever done right here. All right. So, okay. I know this is going to seem a little weird, but I'm going to practice testing strategy today just because I want to get to more easy ones. If you can do this question, that's fine. That's great. Do that real quick and see if you get the right answer. For all of us that know we struggle with this, what do I want you to put? I want you to put C. I want you to mark C right now. Okay. Now, I am very quickly going to work this out. I do not want y'all to do this if you're marking C. But for those of you that are good at this, I want you to see if you got it right. So is it C? Oh, all right. So we should have added 3x, and then we don't combine these, divide by -2, and this negative will be the key right there. So we should have got a -3/2, and then that would give us a -2. And yep, it's C. That's why we use the strategy. And the funny part is, I don't know the answers in this class because this is the first time I work them. Now, obviously, in all the other classes, I'll know that it's C. But that's why we do the strategy. Okay. It just, it doesn't work all the time, obviously, but works a lot. All right. It just kills me. Last night I was showing the kids that got onto night school. I was showing them. I made 2 videos last year because I had these kids that wouldn't do their testing strategy, and so we made 2 videos to kind of emphasize why you should do testing strategy. One of these days I'll show them to you, but it gets so frustrating when kids won't do their testing strategy. All right, number 17. Why do we think this one's easy? And so what do we connect it to? It's a horizontal line. Boy, yes, it's the horizontal line. And so it's got the y equals with the horizontal line. So it can only have y's. It's not allowed to have any other letters. Okay, so it can't be A, it can't be C, and the only one that just has y's and it crosses the y-axis at -2 is B. Oh, did you really? Oh, nothing wrong with that. It still worked, right? Okay, the only one you can't put in the calculator is D because it's x equals. So obviously you could eliminate all, but does that make sense how if you remember the Hoy and Bucks, remember, Diagonal lines are the normal lines. The special ones are the straight up and down and the flat one. Okay, those are our special lines right there. So if you can connect that to y and x, it's even easier, right? All right. So okay, so this one right here, y is not by itself. Okay, so if you're not good at getting y by itself, what should you guess at this moment? You should guess C. Now, so if you're going to guess C, I want you to guess C right now. Okay. Now, if you're not going to guess C, 19. So if you're not going to guess C and you're working it out, then let's see if you got the right answer. So we're adding 3x, adding 3x. That cancels. We got 3y equals 3x minus 3. Oh, what did I do there? What happened? Divide by 3, divide by 3. All right, here's the thing that's going to get some of y'all. So this is y equals 1x minus 1. Make sure we're looking for slope. Obviously, it's either 1 or negative 1. Which one's slope? It's in front of the x. So it would be what? A, 1. Okay, question 20. Now, yes, a lot of y'all will look at this and say, I need to get y by itself. But I actually taught y'all an easier way to do this. Does anybody remember the easy way? We're looking for x and y intercept. And looking for x and y intercept when y is not by itself. So I can't type this into the calculator. Either, a lot of y'all would probably get C on this, but I taught y'all an easy way to do this. It was called the cover-up method. Okay? So watch this real quick. I'm going to use the pen to cover it up, but if I were y'all, I would use your finger. Okay? I would use your finger and cover up the y right here. So all I see left is this 6x equals negative 60. How would I solve for x? Just divide by 6, right? What is negative 60 divided by 6? Negative 10. So the x-intercept has to be negative 10. A says positive 10. B says 12. C says negative 12. The answer would be D. That's called the cover-up method. Okay? Now, if y is by itself, I would rather you plug it into the calculator to find the x and the y. Does that make sense? But now, does it work for the y? Yes, it does. If I wanted to find the y-intercept, I could cover this up. Just simply divide by 5. And negative 60 divided by 5 would be negative 12. Okay? So, not the easiest question at all, but, you know, y'all can do that. Okay, so like we haven't seen domain and range a lot. So I feel like we've kind of lost. We were pretty good at this. Remember, domain and range is when you crop the picture, right? So we got a picture right here. He's happy to see you, okay? And we're going to crop this picture. We got too much. Now, what's the key word right here? Domain. And what letter is domain? X's. So we're cropping the x-axis. Now, cropping the x-axis, y'all see those vertical lines? So next to x values, you see these vertical lines? That means we're drawing vertical lines that go this way, okay? So we're going to draw vertical lines that crop this picture. And when you draw these vertical lines, what two numbers did they hit? 3 and 5 on the x-axis. Okay, so we crop the x-axis. They hit 3 and 5. Look at your answers. Yeah, B. So it's been a while. That's not bad, but it's been a while since we've done it. So a lot of us have kind of lost our ability to crop pictures. Okay, 22 is slope. We do not consider slope to be easy except for one part, and that is this positive or negative? Negative, so we can eliminate our positive answers. So at this point, if you don't know what to do, you should be guessing A or D. And then if you actually want to know what to do, there's a couple of things you can do. You can find 2 points where it crosses, or you could even find 1 point and then try to go down 4 over 3 and down 3 over 4 to see which one it is. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3. So 3 is going to be on top over 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one puts 3 over 4? D. So that part of slope, a lot of kids struggle with. And so if you struggle with that, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right, 23. What's our keyword right there? Domain. And what is domain again? X's. So we're only looking for the X's. I'm going to underline them all. All right. So let me tell you how I would do this. I would not look for all of these numbers at once. I would start with the number 3 right here. If it doesn't have 3, mark it off. It makes it so much less stressful if you do it this way. Then we got 9. Okay, well, both of these have 9. Then we have -1. Both of these have -1. Then we have 0. Only one of these has 0. The answer would be C. Yeah. So to me, that's the easy way to do this. Okay, this right here is just a basic equation. How many equations are there? 1. Where do we do one basic equation? Menu 3, 1. One basic equation we do in menu 3, 1. So we're going to go type this in menu 3, 1 under NSOLVE. Once again, easy, but we haven't done this in a while. Okay, so we're going to go to regular calculator. There was no Y. It's just a basic equation. And we're going to hit menu 3, 1 for one equation. All right, and we're going to type in, let's see, X minus 2. Why did I have, oh, okay, never mind, sorry. X minus 2 minus parentheses 4x minus 2 close parentheses equals -9. And then comma, remember, you always got to put a comma at the end and then your X. And so as long as you know how to type that in, this is an easy question on the STAR test. Answer's 3. Answer should be B. But we definitely want to make sure. This is why we try to review. And when you get really quick at this stuff, you'll get to more of the review more often. And then, I mean, you become awesome at this stuff. Unfortunately, just with the fact that we've missed so many days and stuff like that, and we're not able to practice this as much, so we don't work as quickly, and we just don't get as much practice. So that's usually by this point, most of my students are kicking butt on these right here. And I still got a lot of y'all that are, but I've got a lot that are struggling this year, and it's simply because of all the time off we've had this year. So I'm not blaming y'all. I hope y'all don't, whenever I say that, I hope y'all don't ever think I'm blaming y'all. I get why we struggle, okay? And it's because of the fact that we've missed class. All right. So what number is this right here? 27? Is that what that is? Maybe I should do, 24. Okay, I should have done that before. All right, 24, we're looking for X and Y intercept. Easy, super easy question. Was on the last quiz you took, by the way. X-intercept has another name. Do y'all remember that name? X-intercept is 0. And 0 was on the last quiz y'all took. And I want to say like 75% of us missed it because we haven't talked about it in a while. The 0 X-intercept is just, where does this touch the X-axis right here? Where does that touch right there? 2. So look at your answers. Not those two. This says -2. So the answer's got to be B. Now, I will tell you, I have no idea where it touches the Y-axis. I just know it's positive. And so I know that's positive right there. And then I think this is our last question right here. I want y'all to notice, like, we flew through 26 questions today. Eventually, like, usually, if you practice this, by the time we get to like March, April, May, doing 26 questions will take you all of like 20, 25 minutes. You'll just be, because you'll be so good at the calculator, okay? And then the kids that don't practice, like, it'll take you all day to do these questions, okay? And so, like I said, it doesn't take much time when you know this stuff. All right, what's the key word right here? Range. What letters range? Y. So we're just looking for the Y's right here. So I'm going to start with +1. If it doesn't have a +1, mark it off, okay? Then I'm going to do 0. If it doesn't have a 0, mark it off. Then I'm going to do 2. If it doesn't have a 2, mark it off. So the answer is B.